Hi, this is Janak Reddy Dubaka. In this video, we are going to discuss some important problems from the chapter Electrostatics and Capacitors. See, these are the problems from Ncert textbook, but not exactly as it is from the exercise or example problems of Ncert. And these are the problems modified Ncert problems. See here, 10 to the power of 5 electrons are removed per second from a large metallic sphere. How long will it take to gain 8 coulombs on the sphere? See here, charge Q is equal to N into E. N means number of electrons. Charge is 8 coulomb. This becomes 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. This becomes 5 into 10 to the power of 19 electrons. That time is equal to number of electrons by rate per second. Here number of electrons 5 into 10 to the power of 19, but here 10 to the power of 5 electrons are removed per second, therefore 10 to the power of 5, but answers is given in years, therefore 365 days into 24 hours 60 minutes into 60 seconds. This becomes t is equal to approximately 10 to the power of 7 years. Therefore answer is a third one. So here the force between A and B is F as shown in the figure. 75% of the charge A is transferred to B, then force between A and B. Now force between A and B, K into 4Q into Q, 4Q square by D square. See, what is 75% of 4Q? That is 4Q into 75%, 75 by 100. 25 3s are 25 4. This becomes 3Q. Therefore, from this 4Q, 3Q is removed. That 3Q is added to this one. After removing 3Q, this becomes Q. After adding this 3Q to this Q, therefore this becomes 4Q. Now in the system, again there are two charges, Q and 4Q. Distance is same. Therefore, F dash is equal to F itself. Therefore, answer 3. See here, two small spherical balls, each of charge Q, 10 microcoulombs, suspended by two insulating threads of equal length √3, each from a point fixed in the ceiling. In equilibrium, threads are separated by 120 degrees as shown in the figure. What is the tension in the thread? See here, the total distance is d. This becomes d by 2, and this is length L. Here 120 by 2, that is theta I am taking. Theta is equal to 60 degrees. See, here is the tension T. Here angle theta. Therefore, this becomes T cos theta, and this becomes T sin theta. Here it is Fe. Therefore, electrostatic force balances T sin theta. Fe means 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q into Q, Q square by D square is equal to T into sin 60, that is √3 by 2. Then from this T is equal to 2 by √3 into 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q square by D square. Here we have to find out D. See, from this triangle, sin theta is equal to opposite side d by 2 by hypotenuse L. Therefore, sin theta means sin 60 √3 by 2, d by 2, L is √3. Therefore, here this √3, 2 gets cancelled. Therefore, d is equal to √3 into √3, 3. And here this is 3 meters. Now, t is equal to 2 by √3 into 1 by 4 pi epsilon 9 into 10 to the power of 9. Charge is 10 microcoulomb. 10 into 10 to the power of minus 6 whole square. D is 3 square, 9. Therefore, the final answer is 0.2 by √3 newtons. This is the tension. Next one. The charges Q1, Q3 creates an electric field E1 at some point P. If Q2 is represented by minus Q2, and the field at point P. See, generally electric field due to point charge E bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon q by r square into r cap. It is a vector. For example, here is one charge q1, here is one charge q2, here is a point P. This becomes E1 bar and this becomes E2 bar. Here, the positions of the charges are not given. Therefore, we cannot predict the relation between E1 bar and B2. Therefore, cannot say data is insufficient. See here, a positively charged pendulum is oscillating in uniform electric field as shown in the figure. The time period of SHM compared to that when it was in uncharged. If it is uncharged, therefore time period T is equal to 2 pi into square root of L by G. When a charge is placed in a field, electric field, if it is positive charge, force is acting in the direction of the field. Therefore, force is acting in the direction of the field. Therefore, acceleration, that is equal to EQ by M, and acceleration due to gravity downwards. Therefore, G equivalent is equal to G minus EQ by M. Now, T dash is equal to 2 pi into square root of L by G equivalent, that is G minus EQ by M. See, when you compare with this one, here G decreases. Therefore, this will decreases, time period increases. Therefore, time period will increase. Answer 1. Next one. From the field pattern shown in the figure, identify the correct statement related to Q1 and Q2. See here, electric lines of force are radially away from charge Q1 and radially inwards. When electric lines of force away from the charge, that is positive. Therefore, indirectly, your Q1 is given as positive and Q2 is given as negative. The magnitude of charge is directly proportional to number of field lines. Therefore, from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Therefore, here Q1 by Q2 is equal to plus 10, and for this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minus 5. Therefore, this becomes minus 5. Therefore, minus 2 by 1 or minus 2. Therefore, answer third one is correct. Next, a square surface of side L meter is in the plane of the paper is placed in uniform electric field E acting along the same plane at an angle theta with the horizontal side of a square as shown in the figure. The electric flux linked with the coil. See, electric flux pi is equal to E bar dot A bar or EA cos theta. Here theta is angle between field vector and area vector. See here, field is in the plane of the coil, but normally is perpendicular to the coil. Therefore, angle theta is equal to 90 degrees. Therefore, theta is equal to 90 degrees. Cos 90 is 0. Therefore, flux is equal to 0. Therefore, first one. A charge Q is placed at the center of cubical vessel with one face open as shown in the figure. The flux of electric field through the surface of the vessel is. So here it is a cubical vessel. Just imagine one room. But it is a open, means there is no roof. According to Gauss law, flux is equal to pi is equal to Q in by epsilon naught. Q is the charge enclosed in a closed surface. But it is open. By placing the another space, but it's a roof, it becomes a closed. Therefore, flux due to total cube, that is equal to Q by epsilon naught. For this room, there are 6 surfaces. Therefore, flux passing through each surface Q by 6 epsilon naught. But here in this only 5 faces are there. Therefore, flux passing through that cubical surface, flux total is equal to 5 into flux passing through each face. Therefore, flux total is equal to 5q by 6 epsilon naught. Therefore, 5q by 6 epsilon naught. Next, for the system of two charges Q1 and Q2 at the separation R, the Coulomb force of Q1 and Q2 and Q2 and Q1 are equal and opposite, but these may not act along the line that joins Q1 and Q2. Therefore, this is wrong. See, Coulomb force act along the line joining the charges. Therefore, this one is wrong. And according to Newton's third law, action reaction force are equal and opposite, and these may or may not act compulsory. They are act along the line joining the charges. This one also wrong. Therefore, both are wrong. Both assertion and reason are wrong. See here. Electric flux through the closed surface S intersecting uncharged metal sphere as shown in the figure. This is uncharged metal sphere. This part of the sphere is inside the closed surface. Therefore, inside the closed surface, there is no charge of this sphere, spherical part. Therefore, flux 0. But here, a charge is placed outside the sphere. Due to induction, the nearer side having opposite charge is induced. Therefore, here is negative charge is induced. Farther side, there is a positive charge is induced. Now, within this closed surface, this part of the sphere having positive charge, therefore flux also positive. Therefore, answer first one. And polar molecules are the molecules. See here, polar molecules means this is positive charge center and this one is negative charge center. And here non-polar molecules, positive charge center and negative charge centers are coincide. Before applying the external field, here dipole moment does not equal to 0. Here dipole moment is equal to 0. Therefore, having permanent electric dipole moment, answer 4 correct. Next, 12th one. If E bar dot ds bar is equal to 0 over the surface, E bar dot ds bar is nothing but flux. Flux is equal to E bar dot ds bar. Therefore, E bar dot ds bar 0 means flux is equal to 0. Flux 0 means number of lines entering is equal to number of lines leaving. Therefore, fourth one is correct. See here. ABC are 3 points in a uniform electric field, then electric potential. So here E is equal to minus dV by dr. Means electric field is acting in the direction of decrease in potential. Therefore, electric field direction like this, in the direction of intensity, potential decreases. Therefore, potential at B is maximum and potential at C, and after that potential of E. Therefore, B is having maximum potential is at A, at B. Therefore, third one. Next one. Electric potential due to short dipole of a dipole moment P at a point distance R from the center of the dipole. So here electric potential due to dipole on axial line, this is Kp by R square. On equatorial line, this is 0. Therefore, on axial line, it is proportional to P and also it is proportional to 1 by R square. So here, independent of dipole moment P, if the point is on the axial line, therefore on axial line, V axial is directly proportional to P. Therefore, this one is wrong. Next, proportional to dipole moment P if the point is axis of dipole. Therefore, this one is correct. And C, 0 if the point is an equatorial line. Therefore, V equatorial 0. Therefore, this one also correct. Next one, non-zero if the point is on equatorial line. On equatorial line 0. This one is wrong. Therefore, B and C are correct. Option 1 correct. See here. So match the following. Here, gravitational force, strong nuclear force, Coulomb force, electric force. Gravitational force exists between two particles having mass. Coulomb force means it is a force acting between 2 point charges. For example, this is Q1 here is Q2. Coulomb force F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 by R square. But electric force in general term, force due to electric force means F is equal to EQ. Means if a charge is placed in any electric field, force acting on that charge F is equal to EQ. Therefore, general term of electric force, this is electric force, and Coulomb forces exist between 2 point charges. Therefore, according to this one, answer is A. Therefore, here A matches Q, R, and S. Force on electron in an atom. It is strong nuclear force, Coulomb force, and also electric force. B, P, and Q. Force between proton and neutron inside the nucleus. Proton and neutron both having mass, therefore it is P, gravitational force, and also Q, strong nuclear force within inside the nucleus. Like that, therefore answer 1 is correct. Up to now we finished 15 questions. In this chapter there are 50 questions. In next video we can go through another 15. After that another 20. Okay, thank you.